Hi, I'm James Coomer. I'm Senior VP for Products at DDN. EXAScaler is DDN's parallel file system, and I want to talk to you about the developments that are coming to market in EXAScaler in 2020. So our customers are experiencing some changes. The changes are typically due from the advent of AI and the accompanying introduction of GPUs, containers, AI frameworks into their workload. We've also seen EXAScaler being taken up very broadly in the past few years across areas outside of the very traditional HPC. Research data management, public cloud, active archive, at-scale AI, all of these we've seen extremely strong surge in implementations and interest. And with that surge comes new demands for features to make sure EXAScaler can competently cope with the upcoming challenges in all these new areas. So we've been talking to those customers, listening a lot, and starting about 18 months ago, we were working on a set of features to make EXAScaler extremely powerful data management system with the protocols you need, with the flexibility you need, and with the uptime and RAS you need. And as I said, a lot of this comes into the product in EXAScaler 5.2 during 2020. So what are our development priorities in EXAScaler 5.2? We're currently on 5.1, 5.2 comes out in Q3 2020. So performance has always received strong attention, and frankly, we are winning on performance. The best throughput and IOPS per SSD, the best throughput per drive, the most efficient IO 500 numbers, the most scalable metadata, very strong single client, single thread performance, the fastest GPU systems in the world. We cope with extremely high concurrency. Performance really isn't our challenge. The strongest challenge is building a very comprehensive data management infrastructure, making sure at any scale our systems are absolutely the most robust, and also that we can work in the cloud and on-prem very flexibly. And those are the areas we've been working on with our engineering teams in the SFA, building the appliances, and in EXAScaler, and in the monitoring systems and cloud analytics systems. I'm going to try and tell you about all those developments just in the next few minutes. So right at the core, we've had a strong focus to steadily and dramatically improve the uptime, availability, serviceability of systems. We see that already with online enclosure updates, very fast mount times with extremely large file systems, multi-rail management, and we've recently introduced an out-of-the-box GUI for EXAScaler appliances, so we can take a 400 NV on one of our 2U all-flash systems, and once we plug it in from the factory in our customer site, we can bring it up and configure it using the graphical interface and very clean web interface, and see the metrics associated with the performance of that appliance and the health of that appliance right out of the box. We've also built into the system some additional metrics collection to help us diagnose all kinds of issues much faster. And as you know, when we're building extremely large systems, these issues can happen quite frequently. So very quick diagnostics is really critical. And that's where SIA comes in. So you can see the little screenshot here of this cloud analytics system. What this is a set of software that runs in cloud. It takes logs and metrics from DDN systems and it pushes them through a database, applies various analytics, anomaly detection on them, and then presents a dashboard back. Right now in 2020, what we're doing is we're building this dashboard internally and we're using it within support to help diagnose customer issues faster. In 2021, we'll expose this dashboard to customers. So customers can then see very advanced information about the shape of the jobs that are using the system, about the trends of capacity of performance in their systems, and we can identify issues which would be very difficult to identify without these kind of systems as well. This slide has some extremely powerful features in it. Firstly, snapshot. EXAScaler Snapshot is part of EXAScaler 5.2. It's on the upgrade path for existing EXAScaler customers, and it allows us to deliver space-efficient whole file system snapshots for our customers. Obviously, administrators get a tool to schedule and prune those snapshots, but users get a self-service utility as well, so they can find files they modified or accidentally deleted and bring them back. Hot pools is the implementation of transparent tiering for scale. Customers need to be able to get the performance of flash, but expand with the economics of hard drives. And hot pools really delivers that. What it does is it works in the background. It finds in a hybrid system with flash and hard drives, it finds hot data and makes sure it's moved into flash. And any data that's in flash that's cooling is moved down to the hard drive layer. So we work in the background with hot pools, moving data about to try and optimize the probability of data that's going to be accessed of being in flash. Security has been a long cyclic set of developments for EXAScaler. We see enhancements around multi-tenancy throughout the year. This is a very unique feature for EXAScaler. It allows different departments to basically only mount the subdirectory tree, and that mount happens through highly secure mechanisms such as Kerberos authentication, etc. We're also working in 2021, you'll see file system level encryption, a client-side encryption happen on top of the at-rest encryption we have today. And I mentioned this before, a lot of the data collection we're doing comes right now into Insight. So Insight is our on-prem, real-time monitoring system. And this is a highly scalable database, allows us to, in very, very large systems, see the outputs of the job stats feature of EXAScaler. That allows us to see in a production system which jobs are consuming the most resources, whether that be metadata, IOPS, throughput, etc. It also, of course, lets you see right and drill down into the performance of the system by OST, MDT, etc., etc. Performance enhancements and integration with AI has been, again, ongoing, and we've been doing a lot of work with NVIDIA. We've deployed systems at NVIDIA at very large scale. We've produced these reference architectures. Technologies that are detailed in those reference architectures are things like GPU direct storage. That's the capability for our file system to push data directly into the GPU memory, bypassing various bottlenecks along the route. We've got the simplest and most comprehensive DGX integrations there are, so we can provide the highest performance into DGX systems such as the A100, and also do that very, very simply. So we've got a very simple setup software which allows you to run that on a DGX, and it will just connect into the EXAScaler file system, and you will be there running with the highest possible efficiency. We've also been working on protocols for quite a while now. So today we have NFS, SMB, and S3 data services. You plug those into EXAScaler, into the same namespace, and then you can access from remote S3 clients, from Windows systems, from Linux systems without a native client, can all access exactly the same namespace, and they can all do so at scale. So every one of these data services scales out to multiple servers. In the cloud, we've now implemented EXAScaler in Azure, in Google Cloud, in AWS. You can see the performance graphs here from our Google implementation, 50 gigabytes a second, up to 32 clients. So very, very powerful performance. And we see a lot of demand from customers who are really trying to get more efficiency out of their expenditure on these cloud instances. With DDN data flow, we provide the ability to bring data in from third-party storage into EXAScaler for data migration purposes. Once there, we can use data flow again to implement backup or archival strategies, or put data in synchronization with remote file systems or object stores. In EXAScaler 5.2, we've also introduced some native features, Cloud Sync and File Sync. And again, those will just perform that job of taking a directory structure within EXAScaler and creating a synchronized copy on a remote file system or remote object store. So that's a lot of features coming out in 5.2, some of which have been already implemented. I've gone through a lot of detail very quickly in this presentation. We do want to talk with you about how we've implemented each one of those features and where they go from 5.2. This is a major release. We get a lot of functionality and capabilities in the system from 5.2 at the end of Q3 of this year, but there's still a lot more to come, so we're very interested in hearing from you. At the end of the user group, there'll be some information about how you can create a meeting where myself or one of my colleagues can go through in some more detail about the features for EXAScaler 5 and exactly how they're implemented and how they can help your workflows. Thank you.